This is another Wichita Mountain story pulled from Steve Wilson's Oklahoma Treasure Tale book. This is the sad history of the infamous Indian Mummy Cave, which is more popularly known as the Spanish Cave. This is one of the most sought-after destinations in the Wichita Mountain Wildlife Refuge. Before I dive into the short story, I will discuss the best methods to hike to the cave. This is definitely a hike you want to have on your winter agenda, as the warm spring and summer temperatures bring thick vegetation and venomous snakes. Like most of Charon's Garden, this canyon is extremely rugged. This cave is located in the southwest portion of the refuge in the Charon's Garden Wilderness area, just north of the old Job Corps campus. If you are in the Treasure Lake parking area and looking to the west and southwest, you can see the general direction that you need to go. I took this screenshot from one of my many hikes with my friend, the legendary Randy Hill. Behind Randy, you can see the boulders on the horizon. Almost due west, you'll see a formation known as Cleopatra's Cluster or the Three Amigos, depending on who you ask. South of there, you will see the northern rim of the Spanish Canyon rising up. Directly to the left, you will see the southern rim and a small round guide boulder standing somewhat by itself. Do your best to keep this guide boulder in your view as you hike toward the cave. The cave is actually directly across and below from that rock in the canyon. The most direct path is to park at Post Oak Lake, hike across the dam, and then head southwest toward that guide boulder. There are some cool rock rooms and boulders to scramble on if you choose to go that way and explore. A good second option would be to hike down the road, and then when it starts to break slightly to the right, you can take one of the game trails into the trees. This way is a toss-up though, because you might find yourself tangled up in briar and getting way off trail. In the summer of 1902, a prospector stumbled upon an amazing find. While searching up Spanish Canyon in what is now the Wichita Mountain Wildlife Refuge, the gold seekers discovered a curious cave in an otherwise solid granite mountain. The cave had served as a tomb for an Indian child who appeared to be 6 or 7 years old at death and who was mummified. A legend said that he was the son of an Indian chief, for his leather dress and moccasins are more elaborate than those worn by the ordinary Indian. His costume was richly ornamented with beads, a half-dozen rings, an elaborately carved bracelet, a pearl talisman, and other articles. Found sitting in an upright position, the mummy was wrapped in 3 thick Navajo blankets, and the report said, "War paint shows upon the face, while the hair which covers the small head is bleached almost white with the long entombment." Also found with the mummy were a handful of Spanish and Mexican coins, the latest dated 1821, a bag holding tubes of war paint, 3 spools of thread, a package of needles, and buckskin thongs. And still another leather bag were marbles, a bear claw, strings of beads, and a stick of blackroot for the boy to chew should he become thirsty upon his long trip to the happy hunting ground. Thenceforth, the mountain tomb became known as Spanish Cave. Situated about a mile southwest of Treasure Lake and facing south on the side of the granite knoll, the cave has long been studied for its pictographs, believed by some to represent hidden Spanish treasure. Faded beyond identification and heavily covered by graffiti, the paintings appeared to represent a cross and a sun. The unexplained mummy was later procured by E.C. Brewer of Lawton, who in turn sold it to an Eastern traveling show. It was returned to Lawton in 1908, only to be sold to a large Indian curio firm in New York City. From there, there's no telling what happened to it.